Yeah, welcome to another episode of ArtCo Drone Solutions. Hey, you're not Bryan Singleton. It's the grumpy vlogger, Lloyd Mendenhall. Welcome, welcome. We just had an emergency today. Brian couldn't be with us because his wife has kidney stones. So boy, I
Oh,
mess with that. So,
yeah,
hey,
exactly.
Brian, hope everything works out okay. Speedy recovery for your wife. So, welcome to the show, Lloyd.
Well, thanks. I was glad I was able to do it. I've had a busy day today.
You did.
Uh, yeah, well, I had for me it's busy. I got in my yearly exercise. I walked about I don't know. Each time I tell the story, it gets a little further. It started out as just 2 blocks, but I think I'm up to about 6 miles now.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
I don't know if anybody saw Mel's live stream this morning or
Yes,
saw
I
the
did. Boy,
pictures
that
put
was
up
awesome.
by Roosevelt. Yeah.
Right?
Well, I wasn't at Mel's, but I did go and film that train when it came through Fort Gibson, which is only about 15 minutes from here.
Wow.
And so I got up a little earlier than usual, and so I'll have some. I've got a little sneak preview I'll show in a little bit, but
Oh,
I've just
wonderful.
I thought I'd lost the good shot. I was talking to Mel and I couldn't find it. And it was because of the way I offloaded it off of my DJI Osmo that
Right.
I had some problems. But yeah, got some pretty decent shots.
Wonderful.
And
Awesome. Awesome. Hey,
yeah, I'm wore out.
for those of you who are relatively new to my channel, Lloyd is a vlogger who happens to fly drones. He's known as the Grumpy Vlogger, and if you watch his channel, he does the daily Grumpy Gripes with his tongue in cheek view of the world. So that's is that about right, Lloyd?
That's pretty much it. If people take me real serious, then they're not getting the idea of my channel. But yeah, it's a lot of tongue in cheek humor. Sometimes I have legitimate gripes, but uh, yeah, I'm a vlogger that owns a drone. Yeah, that's the way I classify myself. Uh, so yeah, that pretty much says it right there. Yeah.
So, are you going to get the Mavic Mini that everybody is talking about?
Mm, no, as a matter of fact, I've got a icon on my desktop in my set for my show that has the circle with the X or with the line through it, and behind that is the picture of the Mavic Mini. Mel made that for me because he knows I do not like the Mavic. No, it's just I guess it is a great starter drone
Right.
for young people who are just getting into it. But I've got a Mavic Air. As noisy as it is,
Yep.
it's a really good video
Yeah.
or a
Yeah.
really
It
good
does.
video platform. So
Hmm.
I got a Spark I can use. They take good pictures,
Yeah,
you
they
know.
do. Hmm.
So I'm just not one of these guys that goes out and buys a drone for the sake because it's the next new thing coming
Yeah.
out. I
Hmm.
just I If I were to buy one of the new drones coming out right now, I would probably buy the Skydio 2 because
Right. Right.
that has impressed me more than any drone I've seen in the last
Hmm.
couple of years.
Right.
You
Right.
know, I'm the kind of guy that doesn't have a need for the Mavic 2 Pro or the Mavic 2 Zoom. It's just not something I would use.
Hmm.
Uh, as a matter of fact, I've got to find out what I need to do to winterize my batteries for my Mavic Air because I doubt I'm going to be flying much the rest of this year. So
Yeah.
I just, and I know
That's
you
true.
need to drain them, or I don't know how you do that. Art, maybe you know.
All I know is you keep them warm, and if you happen to go out on a cold day, you're not going to be flying very long. But don't do it too
Right.
often because that'll damage batteries. So, what color Mavic Air did you get?
Here's the thing. I don't remember. When I bought the Mavic, well, I don't because I've got a skin on it. It is
Oh, okay.
currently 1972 Chevy Vega orange.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I
That's
can't
right. I
remember what,
remember.
and it's covered completely, so I don't remember what the original
Right. And that's a
looked
cool
like.
color. I like that color.
Yeah, it is. It's
It's kind of an orange or a copper color.
it's a metallic
Yeah.
color, but and yeah, there it is.
Oh, okay, cool.
And of course I got my eyes,
Right?
which so it is what it is.
Yeah.
It does the job. And a gentleman was giving these away, and one of his shows, he's no longer on the in the YouTube circuit that I know of, and I won it. I won that
Oh,
skin. So
wonderful.
he sent it to me from Canada, and
Right.
he yeah. I
All
keep
right,
it right there by me all the time. I don't know why.
let's do a little housekeeping here. Let's welcome Sean Geeksvana, Jim Wallace, alias Mr. Graphic, who was my guest last week. Drone Life RC is here. Rick Halber is here. Steve Mack. And this guy, the Grumpy Blogger's here too. So
Yeah, he occasionally shows up.
yeah.
Yeah, he follows me everywhere. I just can't
Yeah,
get
I
rid of him.
know.
You know.
He's like
Yeah.
your shadow, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah,
So, how's the weather down your way? You live in Muskogee,
today I live in
Oklahoma.
Muskogee,
Almost said
Oklahoma.
Illinois.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. And if it was anywhere, it'd be Muskegon, Wisconsin, or something like that.
Yeah,
Or
Muskegon is in
Muskegon,
Michigan.
Michigan. Michigan. Yeah, okay, it's Michigan.
Yeah.
I knew it was one of them Yankee states. But anyways, Rick Halber says keep it charged about 20%. And it should be good. Excellent. Thank you, Rick. I've been going
Okay,
to ask
there
that
you
for,
go.
and I actually have that question. I think on a video coming up this week. Today it got up. I think about 59, but the wind was just. I mean, when I went out this morning, it was
Yeah.
like 50, 51 or 52. I hear my wife's fixing to call me, so let me see what she needs real quick.
Okay.
There she is.
All right, I will hold the fort while you go take care of that. So what I'll do is I'll take this advantage of this. We got a new feature here on Artco Drone Solutions. Yes, I am doing a toffee giveaway, and this is it. It's a famous Enstrom Almond Toffee. And later on
Oh,
tonight, I'm going to give you a trivia question, and the first correct answer wins this. So I'm going to be doing this in next several weeks since it's the holiday season, and
right.
it's my way of thanking you folks for coming to this show when you could have gone to many other live stream shows where you get your entertainment dollars here. We're
Yeah.
not the Ken
Let
Heron
me tell
show
you.
where, oh God, my guts were sore after that. I laughed so hard.
Oh,
Oh,
Thursday. That was hilarious. Oh, I was cracking up. Judy says, "What are you laughing at?" I said, "Oh, this show. You just wouldn't believe it. It was so funny." But for the people out there listening, that is some excellent chocolate. I grew up in Colorado, so I know about Enstrom's chocolate. That's my favorite.
mm-hmm. Yep. I think Ken just raised the bar to a new height on live streams. It's going to
Yeah,
be
he did.
really tough to beat that. But hey, I'm
Yeah.
just a little show here with a little over 1K of subscribers, where Ken is rapidly getting to 100K. So
I know. That's hard to believe, huh?
yeah, I mean,
I think he
kudos to
just
him.
was.
But his channel's been around for a few years. So I've this
Yeah,
channel
yeah,
will be 2 years old in April, and I really didn't do live streaming. Oh, probably late fall of 17, early, yeah, something like that. And that was
yeah.
back when I was experimenting with the different streaming platforms until I settled in on vMix, which I like quite a bit. But I'm still thinking about going over to OBS. That's something down the road, but for the time being, this is where I'm at right now. So, how you like my little sign there that says "You Drone"?
Yes, I've got one of those myself. I know
Yeah.
where that came from. Yeah, I just got mine in. He threw that in with my last order
Oh,
of
okay.
campaign buttons. Yeah,
Right.
and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it's I like that sign because he and I were corresponding. Jim Wallace and I were corresponding. He does all of my campaign buttons. He also gave me uh, well, it's a drone pilot one, but
Oh,
because of the
okay.
green screen, the yellow just disappears.
Well,
But
I've got an Artco drone solution sign, but for some reason it cuts off the front part of the sign. I don't know why that's doing that. Maybe you could help me figure out how to make it work with all of this.
right,
Yeah.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
you've got the digital version of it.
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, shouldn't be hard to put in there, but you might
Yeah.
check the place that you have it in. You may have dropped it into a spot that you had something else in there and it's still cropped from whatever it was originally. Sometimes, in your multi-view, uh,
Right.
sometimes you replace something with something else
Right.
and you forget that whatever else was in there may have been cropped or may have been a smaller size, and that's why it would do that. Uh,
Right. Right.
you know, or
Well,
if you're putting it right, well, it wouldn't matter because the only thing that's affected by the green screen cutoff would be what's inside your camera. You know,
ooh,
like your
okay.
camera shot. But
I see.
if
Okay, that's
Mel's in
something to
here, I see.
consider. Just want to
Yeah.
say hi to Jody, Drone Shots, Mel, and Tomas are here. Just want to make one stipulation on the candy giveaway here is this is only for U.S. and Canada because it would get pretty expensive to ship overseas like Australia, the Philippines, or to England. Sorry, Sean. I wish I could send it to you if you happen to be the winner
Well, the
of the
U
trivia. So,
the UK has some really good chocolates,
yeah,
and so does Australia. So
yeah. And,
you
oh,
know,
Europe
but
has some really good
oh yeah,
chocolates. Have you ever
that's where it
tried
started.
some of the candy from Russia? Boy, they
No, I
got some
haven't.
good
Is it?
stuff there too.
Yeah, but
What is on your agenda, Lloyd?
well, right
How's your
now,
campaign
uh,
going? Let's jump into that.
well, my presidential campaign seems to be working out pretty good. I actually passed out a button or two and some cards today,
Great.
out there at the where the train stop was at, and I've been well. I bought. I originally ordered 2 dozen. Three of them were sent to me, and some were sent to Rick Halver.
Right?
And then I ordered 2 dozen after I gave those three. Was it's like, oh, well, I got to have these. So uh, I went through those really quick. People are finding it real. They like my campaign slogan. Bite me,
Right?
I stand for nothing. You know, I tell them I can be bribed. You know, I'm like any good politician. I can be bribed. I can be bought.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. And uh, but it's going pretty good. I mean,
Well,
it's all tongue
that's
in cheek. But
wonderful.
you know, I'm having a lot. You know, I I my I mean, I'm passing those campaign buttons out to. That's why I had to reorder because everybody at my doctor's office and at the dentist's office up at the VA, I'm having to pass them out there because they all want one. So, yeah,
Wonderful.
it's. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Let's put it that way. You know,
Well, I
and
know when I wore the buttons at work, I got a lot of comments, really nice comments on that. So,
good,
yep.
good.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I was glad you got that. Rick sent that to you, right?
Yes, he did
Or did I?
with a lot
Oh,
of
Rick sent it to you. I
chocolates,
could.
which is
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Mhm. So you're originally from
Yeah,
Colorado. You grew up in Westminster, and then you
yeah.
moved to Grand Junction. And so
Right. Moved to
after
Grand Junction.
you went to high school there, I guess. I'm
Yeah,
guess.
I graduated high school there. Got
Okay,
married there the first time.
the first time.
The first time,
And
yeah.
then from there you went into the military, correct?
I went in the Air Force. I was married and had a kid on the way, and I knew I was already up for. I was on the last draft round,
Oh
and
boy.
I already knew my number was probably going to come up for some reason. I just had that suspicion. So, and I'd already decided to go into the service. I'd actually enlisted. Uh, oh, probably about 6 months before I actually got my draft notice, and I
Right.
did get a draft notice. So, and then from there, I went to uh, boot camp in Happy Valley, USA, which is San Antonio,
Ooh,
Texas.
what
And
an appropriate
then
name for boot camp.
uh, yeah, I know, right? There's some sick people there. And
Yeah.
then from there, I was sent back to Colorado. Believe it or not, went to Lowry. I was stationed at Lowry.
Oh,
Went through my
wonderful.
tech school there. Learned how to.
Mm.
Uh, we this at the time they had a saying, and they gave us T-shirts that says, "A job you can learn a job you can use on the outside." They taught me how to load bombs on aircraft, and after I got out, TWA, Pan Am, none of them called me to load a bomb on their aircraft. I
Ah,
don't know.
yeah,
I
darn.
think I might have been lied to.
Mm. Yeah, you might have. Huh.
Yeah, but anyways, from there, then I went to Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in
Mm.
Tucson, Arizona,
Right,
where Jim Crennan lives,
right.
and somebody else lives there. I can't remember who it is now. One of the other drone
Mm.
guys,
Now,
and
Davis Monthan, that's where the boneyard is, correct?
that's where the boneyard's at.
Uh-huh.
Yep, yep.
Cool.
Been out there. What they call it, cannibalizing. You know, when
Yeah.
you need a
Mm-hmm.
part. And I served under Jimmy Carter was my commander in
Mm.
chief, and we, yeah, there was always a budget crisis while he was in office, but
Yeah.
that's just the way he ran. Nothing ever was. We were in pretty poor shape for a while,
Right.
and uh, we had these brand new A-10 aircraft, but we were needing to work on them, and at that point, we didn't have the parts coming in that we needed.
Right.
And I worked on the first six A-10, the
Oh boy.
Warthog. Uh, uh, I worked on the first six that they ever had, and we couldn't get the parts in. There was a part we were needing, and they sent me over to the boneyard. And believe it or not, out of an old B-24, I found it was a particular cable, a certain pin
Wow.
cable I needed, and it was from a B-24, and I put it on a brand new A-10. But it worked. You know, you did what you had to do. So
Cool. Well, Roosevelt is in the house, so that's cool.
yeah, and I this morning I woke up, I had messages coming in from Roosevelt. I had them coming from Mel telling me that this train was on the way. It was left Mel's last, and then I even got one from Drone Bum
Oh,
out of New York,
wow.
telling me it's only going to be. So I thought, all right, these guys want me to see this train, so I'm going to get up and go. And I got to
Yeah.
admit, it was an impressive. It was impressive, you know.
Yeah. I was
But
just
yeah,
having breakfast when I saw that, and I watched that, and I go, oh, that reminded me of the train that goes from Durango to Silverton.
Yeah, the Silverton Railroad. Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Well, this is a, I can't remember if they count both sides or if they count just the one row. But on one side, so it was on both sides, there were 16 drivers on it. So there was one set of, yeah, 8 wheels on the first set, then stop, and then another 8 wheels. That's why it's called the big boy, because it's the largest of the
I
steam engines there are.
right.
Yeah, this is the actual big boy. And so I think it's got, and plus it's got the two, so it's an 18, because I think it has the two guide wheels up front. I don't know if they call those.
Right.
There are only 8 of those still left in existence. That's the
Wow.
only one that still runs at the UP Big Boy. Yeah, it's Union Pacific.
Right.
And uh, I'll talk some more about it on my show on Monday, but I do have just a little clip that I got, and I'll talk about some of it tonight too. And I got a chance to explain drone safety to a young man today.
Oh, wonderful. Tell us about
Yeah,
it.
I scared it. Well, I was sitting there and I was doing this film. I took my DJI Mavic. One, it was just too cold for me to stand out there and mess with the drone and worry about it. And two, I knew there's going to be people there, so I couldn't fly anyways. So it just was pointless, and I wasn't going to go running up and down trying to look for a place to, you know, I just, I'm lazy. That's why I don't do that many drone stuff. But I had my Osmo Pocket, and with the phone attachment and the whole setup that I got from Rick
Oh,
Smith. But
cool.
anyways, while I'm there, I'm start looking around. I saw 2 drones,
Wow.
so I I filmed them. I filmed one of them anyways, and then I started hunting it. And I was talking to a guy that I interviewed. I said, "Well, I'm going to go find those drones because they're not supposed to be flying." And they were flying over people. They were like
Ooh.
10, 15 foot above our heads, and there were
I.
hundreds of people there. Yeah. And I get over there, and as I'm walking by, I'm looking for the drone, and I'm looking. All of a sudden, I happen to just glance off to my side, and there's a young man standing there, and he's got his controller. It's a DJI.
Uh-huh.
You know, you can't. It looks like, and it was obviously a Mavic controller or a
Uh,
Spark controller or something, and along that line. And I just happened to glance at it. And I thought that looks like a Mavic controller. So I walked up to him. I said, "You need to bring that drone down now." He says, "Excuse me?" I said, "You have violated at least 3 rules I know of. One, you are flying over people's heads. You cannot do that. You cannot fly over a crowd. Two, how old are you?" He says, "I'm 15." I said, "Is your father here observing you?" No. I said, "That's your second violation." I said, "Three, you see the helicopter right over our head? Get the friggin' drone down."
oh, but
I
what?
said, "Get it down." There was a helicopter flying right over us, and he's flying this drone with a helicopter nearby.
Oh, man.
And I said, "First off, you cannot fly over people's heads." And he says, "Well," I said, "Did you ever?" I said, "Is it registered?" He says, "Yeah, I registered it." I said, "Okay." Uh, I said, "Have you read the rules at FAA.gov?" Well, I looked at them. I said, "No, you read them." I said, "You realize you're going to have to." I took off my hat and I said, "Listen," and I said, "I'm a drone pilot, so I know what I'm talking about." I didn't tell him I was I was a hobbyist too. I said, "But it's people like you, or young people like you, that are going to mess it up for everybody. That's why these rules are out there now, and they took away a lot of our rights as a hobbyist because people were not flying safely." I said, "I'm a
Right.
big proponent of flying safely, you know." And uh, I said, "This is unacceptable." I said, "You're underage. You got to be 16." I said, "Second, without unless you have an adult, you know." And I said, "You have none." I said, "You cannot be." He said, "Well, I did see the helicopter and was bringing it down." I said, "Well, first off, you shouldn't have even launched it because you're flying." He says, "Well, I thought it was 50 feet above people." I said, "Nope, you cannot fly over a crowd. If that battery falls out and hits somebody, $25,000 fine, plus your drone's going to crash. Then whoever you hit with the battery is going to stomp the crap out of your $1,500 drone." I said, "Are you crazy, or you just got a lot of money to spend?" He says, I'm getting it down as fast as I can. I said, very good, but do it safely. So I stood there and waited till he got on the ground. It was a Mavic 2 Pro, a
Oh
15-year-old with
wow.
a Mavic 2 Pro, no daddy around watching him, paying attention, and he's flying over all these people. And there were hundreds of people there.
Wow.
And I said, and not
Amazing.
only that, and I'll show a clip here in a minute, but not only that, there's a guy with an FAA vest on right up there on that train. I said, I didn't know what the FAA was doing there. For all I know, it was one of the drone pilots with the news channel, and they're riding along with the
Ah,
train.
okay.
I don't know, but they said,
Scott
Mel, I
Cam
talked to him, and he
Norton.
said, no, they were, yeah. Mel said that they were, following it in a helicopter and doing it that way. They weren't, uh, but yeah, I also told him, yeah, way to go. Scared. Yeah, I scared the crap out of him, all right. He was saying, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. This kid wasn't even out of braces,
Oh boy.
and he's flying I ain't even got a Mavic 2 Pro. What's that little
Yeah.
snot-nosed kid doing with one? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but
You know his
he kind of
parents
ticked me
bought him
off. But,
that.
oh,
And
yeah.
his
I said,
parents.
I said,
If,
when that falls out of the sky and it hits one of those people, it's going to be destroyed. Then you're going to be sued. Then you're going to have to
well,
pay a
not him. His
$25,000 fine.
parents
And so
will.
far, yeah, I said, or your parents will. I said, and when you destroy that drone, I'm sure your father or mom aren't going to be real happy about it. And I said, that's just for one. You've violated at least three things I can spot right here. I
Hmm.
said, so please do yourself a favor. Land the drone quickly, safely, learn how to fly safe,
Hmm.
go online because you will be required to take a test. Go online to FAA.gov,
Hmm.
go to the drone zone, read what it's about, and learn how to do what
Right.
you're supposed to. Just don't listen to your buddy in high school because they don't know anything.
Yep. And then when you turn
So I
16,
got
go
to
to
be.
Remote Pilot 101, enter the code
I told him, I said, and
Aaron18,
when
and
you
you'll
turn
get
16, I said,
30% off.
and I told him, I said, and I hope you continue on and go ahead and get your Part 107. I said, because you can't sell this video now. I
Yeah.
said, this video is for your own personal use. I said, you can't sell it. So
Hmm.
you can give it away, but you can't receive any monetary funds from it
Right.
because that's in violation of Part 107.
Yeah. Good on you, Lloyd.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, you're such
yeah,
a
that's right.
meanie.
He's right.
Going out there
I
and ruin the
know.
kids' fun.
Yeah, yeah. The other guy got away, but I think he was flying. I honestly think he was flying a Mavic, either a Mavic Mini or a Tello. And I don't, it had to have been a Mini because it was holding pretty steady in the air.
Yeah.
I don't think that wind was pretty brisk today because the flags were
Yeah.
standing pretty well straight out. So, 15, 20 mile an hour winds.
Right.
And so I just don't think, yeah, I know, Mel, I'm a big bully. You want to know what? It was fun.
Well, what you should have done, you should have had your suspenders on and done your best
I would have told you,
Rooster
get out of my
J.
face, old guy.
Cogburn. Wow, boy,
Well,
I tell you, you
yeah,
violated
th-
3 laws out there.
that was it, man. I told him he violated three of them. And I said, that's 25,000. I said, that's $75,000. I said, I don't think your allowance will cover that, young man. He says,
Hmm.
no, sir. But he was very respectful, very nice, and it was,
That's
yes, sir,
good.
yes, sir. I didn't know that, sir. And, I said, hey, I wish you the best of luck. You got a very nice drone there, but you need to learn to fly safely.
Hmm.
I said, and if you want to know who I am, this is me right here. I said, I have a YouTube channel. Feel free to watch it. Feel free to come in and make nasty comments about me. I don't care.
Oh,
But
did you
yeah,
hear about the new rules on YouTube now?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
about
ignoring them.
the little kiddos. Now I had to go and change the settings on all my channels to not for
If you
kids.
change the whole channel at once, yeah, if you change it all at once, it'll change them all that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to individually change them
Oh,
unless
okay.
if you put that this channel is just for adults, but if you put it's family friendly, it's a mix of adult and kids. That's when you got to go in and change every single one
Yeah,
individually.
that's
Okay,
right.
this one's for adults, this one isn't, this one is, this one is.
Yeah,
You know,
you
that's
can't have
and
a
the only people that's going to get hurt are going to be the ones who have the child friendly stuff, because they're not going to let advertisers advertise on that,
yeah.
because
That's right. That's right. And
so
that's
it's going to
why I
hurt their
changed it. Yeah,
monetization. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. You know,
You can't have any videos where you're holding a beer and smoking a cigarette and hey kiddo, don't do what I'm doing.
go get grandpa a beer. Yeah, go get grandpa a beer.
Yeah.
Snot. But no.
No, go get
I
me
was
some more
I
white
was nice
lightning.
to this kid, but yeah, I was nice to him, but that's not the only ones getting. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people that's going to get hurt. There's a lot of
Yeah,
people that have geared their stuff towards, but because Mel said that's not the only ones getting hurt, but the ones that it's going to affect first is the ones who have geared stuff.
right?
I'm listening for my wife; she's coughing pretty bad.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
the ones that's going to get hurt is the ones who have geared stuff more towards children, and they're going to get, if their stuff is, if they haven't labeled their channel as an adult channel, and that they find out that they're putting stuff that's not geared towards children on children's content, you know they're going to get hurt. And the other thing is all these emojis, the excessive emojis.
Right?
Not only will they not only will they stop you for the night, they could, if you do it again, let's say somebody writes up 10 emojis, they
Mm-hmm.
consider you to be a spammer,
Uh,
and as a result, they'll shut your channel down.
Nightbot.
No questions. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why people are kicking Nightbot back in, because uh, you can't use excessive emojis, because they will consider you a spammer, and they won't just kick you out of the channel. They may
Right?
shut your whole channel down because you're be considered a nuisance spammer.
Right?
And I know there's guys that like to use them, and that's cool. I use them occasionally. Just don't, you know, put 6, 7, 8, 10 in a row, or don't do it all the time. And I think that will be okay. So
Right?
at
Okay.
least that's what I've read of it, and that's what I've heard about it, and that's what I've
Mm-hmm.
watched. And but there's the good thing is right now I'm not monetized, so it doesn't make me a wit one way or the other. So
Well, I'm posting a link to Jim Crinnan's GoFundMe,
oh yeah,
so
yeah,
I want to do
yeah.
that. That's and for some reason when I tried to copy and paste from my description, it you can't
Right.
just do a line. It just goes and then everything gets copied. I'm like,
Yeah,
it drives
yeah,
me crazy when they do that.
yeah. Now, when you started tonight, did you have to use the new YouTube, or did you just start vMix like you always do? Just
Just
click
did
start.
vMix like I always did. What I do is I go to my YouTube channel and kind of set everything up for the live channel and
Right,
tell who the guest is and all that blah 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 blah. It's not
yeah,
like
right.
StreamYards where you do all of that in StreamYards and it automatically does that on your channel, which I kind of like that. Hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, they're changing that live studio stuff now too, and
Oh,
they're making it so that you actually have to use they're forcing us to use the beta. You know, which
yeah, that
once you
yeah.
start forcing everybody to use the beta, does it become the alpha then?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny is I click on one thing. It says, uh, in order to make this work, uh, go back to uh, go back to YouTube Classic, Creator Studio Classic. I'm going, really? Make up your mind. You just sent me here from Classic to
Yeah.
Beta to make this work. Now you want us to go back?
Yeah.
Can't you guys make up your mind? Fix it. But
All right. Well, we burned up about 35 minutes. I think it's about time to give some chocolates away.
ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, everybody ready? Let's do a drum roll. All right. The trivia question is, and the first person to get this right will win this box of almond toffee, which is delicious, delicious stuff.
Let me tell you, guys, there is no better almond toffee, in my opinion. Judy bought me a pound of that last year for Christmas.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. I thought I'd died and gone to heaven.
Well, and since I'm friends of the family there, every Christmas I get a box of cherry, oh God, cherry cordials or cordials. How do you
Cordials?
pronounce
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And they
Cordials.
have alcohol in them. And they only make them in small batches
Yeah.
for, they give to their friends
Right.
and family and kind of
Yeah.
a small promotional batch, and it's not for sale. So, so those are
Yeah.
good,
I was going to say, I
and
never.
I love those. Eat a few of those, and
Oh,
you're
I can
like,
imagine.
wow, you're feeling pretty
You're a
good.
happy camper.
All right,
Feeling the
so
Christmas cheer.
the trivia question is, name the person who started the company, the first and last name. Let's go. All right. Go to. Oh, okay. Let's see how fast. Yeah, everybody's just jumping in. They jumping for that chocolate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. God, I should know that, too.
Well, there is a little bit of a lag. So.
Yeah, there always is. Yeah. So the question is, name the founder of the chocolate you're giving away. Who started the company?
First and last name. Real easy. I'll even let you Google it. The first one to get it right gets this chocolate. And then you have to give me your address and I will ship it out. And we have a winner. Mel from 400 AGL is the winner. Mel, you have won this deluxe box of, well, it's not deluxe, but it is a box of almond toffee. So, yep, that's right.
Is that like a box of the small?
It is. It's small. It is 3 ounces.
I mean it's a box of the individual.
Yeah, I think there's
those
like
are good, Mel.
3 or 4 pieces in there. Oh, they are so good.
They're rich, but they're good, and they just you'll love them.
And
you will.
They're way better than the Heath bars. Remember the Heath bars? They're like I almost broke
I buy Heath bars now because I can't get Enstroms here in town.
Well, you know what? You can order them online.
I could order them. You know what? As much as I hate to say this, Heath bars are a little bit less expensive, especially with shipping. I just go up to the local store and grab them. But it is not the same. It's not. It's not. These are the good job, Mel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. You're gonna love them, and if you don't, we're only like
Mel, you have my email address.
Just
send me your mailing address, and I'll ship this out to you. I'll get a mailer tomorrow, and I'll get it in the mail on Monday. All right, cool. Congratulations, Mel.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's Enstrom's chocolate is just yeah. I'm trying to think.
Have you tried
Which
some of their
one
other
was?
chocolates? Oh God, they're so
Well,
good.
my son's mother-in-law lives next door, and she gets the she got from me last year a bunch of the small individually wrapped with the dark chocolate.
Oh, those are good.
Oh my God,
Yes.
I loved them. Oh, because I love dark chocolate. My older sister. Now here's something. You talk about age. My older sister could not stand. Uh,
Next week.
yeah.
Next week.
Ah. Okay. Yeah. I'll be eligible next
Yeah,
week.
some people don't like dark chocolate. I love
My
dark
sister
chocolate.
hated it because it. Well, I do too, but my sister hated it because it reminded her of X-Lax. Do you remember when X-Lax used to X-Lax used to come in candy?
Oh yeah, it was a chocolate form. Yeah, it
Yeah. Yeah.
gives you another way to say
Gives
it.
you
A
another
little dab
perspective
will
of dark
do ya.
chocolate. Yeah, a little dab will do you for
Yeah.
sure. But my sister, she's to this, she is, God, what is she? She's 75 years old. She still can't stand. Uh, is she 75 or 76? Let me think here. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was 75. That she's coming up on 76. I lose track. They're old. What do I know?
Well, I will be
I'm the baby in the
60 in
family,
less
so
than 2 months, so I'll be
I don't even remember
celebrating the
60.
big one. And I know Mel just celebrated 60 not too long
He just
ago.
turned 60.
Yep. All
Yeah,
right.
X likes for people who don't give a son of a gun.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, we're on prime time. Yeah, sometimes on my show on Mondays, I might let something slip. I'm on your channel tonight, so I'm being
Yeah.
nice. So,
There you go.
but
Hmm.
you want me to give a little teaser of my
Sure.
the
Go
train
ahead.
video?
Yeah.
I'll just. This is just a little. Let's see, there it is. I'm just gonna pop it in here real quick. It should just play.
Oh
That's
wow.
just yeah.
Oh,
That
that
guy
is
getting
cool.
down right there, that guy standing right there was the guy with the FAA jacket on. I don't know
Oh,
if he was
okay.
helping up, but and she needed a wide load sign, but that's my personal business. Not just, what can I say?
Cool.
But that's just a teaser of some of the video that I did. And let me pop this back up so I can see you better.
Hmm.
Turn your mic. Okay. But yeah, that was just a I don't know 20-second clip of the uh, train. I when I was offloading that today, I thought I'd lost what I call the money shot, which is where you see it coming down the track and it pulls up and it pulls right in front of me and then goes past me. And I took that I just took that Osmo. I locked in on it with that Osmo Pocket, and I had
Right.
it on this stick,
Right.
and the phone attached to it, and it's all in a mount, and I could look up at the phone and see what I was focusing on,
Oh,
and then just
nice.
if I needed to reach up there and adjust something, but I didn't, touch it. But it locked in on that train, and it just stayed locked on that train, and then I just followed it around,
Wow.
and turned with it,
Nice.
and got the train whistle just blowing his whistle, and there was some. You'll hear somebody say, "Lady, get off the track." Yeah, that was me. Some idiot kept that. The cops ran her off 3 times off the track. One of the railroad cops came up and told her to get off the track, and they should have arrested her because her and her has-been hippie husband with his slick leather jacket. Anyways, it's just it was not. I was too early in the day for me to be putting up with idiots, and
Yeah.
she was an idiot. She got real close to the train. I thought she was going to get hit because she just kept out there trying to shoot with her phone, and
Uh,
they told her I don't know how many times to get off the track.
right.
They should have thrown her in jail.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say. She had a one-track mind.
Oh, well, that was the truth. Her husband looked around to see who said to 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 see who'd yelled at his wife to get off the track, and he kind of gives me a dirty look. I said, "Hey, the cops shouldn't have to.
Hmm.
Cops shouldn't be having to yell at her." You know,
Yep,
it's like I
that's
kind of
right.
sized him up, and I looked at him, and I thought, I got him by 25 pounds. You know. Besides, he had a cane. I just kick it out from under him.
Ah,
He would
there
have
you
fallen down
go.
anyway. So that would have been the highlight of the show. Two old farts
There you
break out in a
go.
fight. That would have been funny.
Well, Lloyd, this is a part of the show where we get to relax and enjoy something. This is my version of razzmatazz. It's called art matazz. Let's relax and enjoy. All right, there we're back. How to screw
Oh,
up
sorry,
your
sorry.
live
I,
stream with the video like that? Boy, it was
kind of dozed off
it's
there for a second. That was
flashing
just
yellow
relaxing.
to red, yellow to red. I'm like, yeah, I don't even think it even played on the live stream. Okay. Oh, there we go. And it froze up. Oh wait, yeah, it did
Really?
hesitate a little bit at first, and then you are now
Oh,
entering the
yeah.
twilight zone. Jim Wallace says. Yep. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was just
That was
some
actually very
underwater
relaxing.
video that I made earlier this spring, and I just adjusted the color. I thought, hey, that looks kind of cool and a little relaxing, and
It was very relaxing. I liked the music. That was actually pretty relaxing.
mm-hmm, yep.
And considering I got up so for me it was early. Okay, I set the alarm for 9:30 in the morning, and
Oh
uh,
boy.
yeah, I know. Well, Drone Bum texted me at 6 o'clock this morning. Fortunately, well, actually, I don't know what time he texted me, but hey, you know that train's only going to be, you know, everybody's trying to let you know it's only going to be 15 minutes. Yeah, yeah, okay, Paul, thanks. I'd actually woke up for some reason. Judy and I both woke up at 6 o'clock because I actually have my phone so it doesn't ring or make any sound until noon.
Ah, okay. There
Well, I
you
get
go.
them robocalls at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't
Oh,
want to
I
listen
know.
to, you know,
I
them trying to tell me that this is the last time we're going to call you about this great credit card program we've got.
yeah,
You said that 300 calls ago. Would you quit?
yeah. Or they'll say your social security has been frozen, and if you need to unfreeze it, go to blah 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 blah
Yeah,
and get
yeah,
it fixed. Yeah.
yeah. They're
So
going to send you a nasty little letter telling you why it's going to be froze, and they're going to give you at least 2 weeks to figure out what you're going to do with the next paycheck.
yeah, yep.
Yeah,
And
they
and for me, I've got to turn the sound off because you can't have that thing ringing while you're working. because
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm at a little station that's about as big as my desk here, and I work with little teeny tiny parts. I put my cell phone on a ledge underneath my station, and I leave it on. You know. Uh,
I was going. Yeah, you work with building dental parts, right?
yep. Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Little tiny. I take
And I know
the
you've
little
got.
bands and I spot weld the little teeny tiny brackets that go on. Yep.
Okay, so you have something that clamps and holds them in place and stuff. Because I know it's got to
Well,
be
sort
difficult
of.
with.
I have a what's a it's a spot welder and it's foot operated.
Right.
So I put the band in and I have the part and the tweezers and I put a little bit of pressure to hold the band in place and then put the part in, lit it up a little bit, and then come down and get that one weld and then make sure it's on straight and weld the other side and then I'm done and
Right.
I do that again and again and again.
And you've probably been doing it long enough that you can do it in your sleep.
Yeah, yeah, I've been there for 24 years now, going on 25 pretty
Oh,
soon here. Yep, yep.
wow. What are they going to do? Give you a? Are they going to give you a silver retainer or something for your 25th uh,
Well,
anniversary?
for 25th, I may get a bonus check because I know at my
I would
20th
take that over a silver
anniversary they
retainer.
gave me a
Yeah.
nice big check.
Oh, that's yeah. Good, good.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I really wouldn't have any use for a silver retainer myself. But you know, you work for a dental company, so maybe that's what they get. Yeah. I hope your boss didn't hear that. They, we could get those silver retainers on wholesale. We'll save a lot of money if we just give those out. I hope they're not listening.
Well,
uh,
I know
I've
for
got a
the
twisted mind, don't I?
5 year anniversary, for 1 year anniversary you get pen set, and then for 5 years I think you get a check for $25, and then every 5 years it goes up more and more. Yep.
Okay,
And
cool.
for those who've been there for
Oh,
40 plus years, boy, they get
yeah.
something really nice. I
I
think
just
they get a
noticed that.
watch or something. They get something really
Oh,
nice.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Metro Drones and Mitch from
Oh,
Coast to Coast Drones are here.
oh, cool. Oh, great. Bill, yeah, Bill are here. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
cool.
I said, Mitch, I do that all the time, Bill. Bill Thomas. Every time I see Coast to Coast Drones, I think of old guy in a drone. I don't know why.
Yeah, yeah.
It might be their hairstyle, maybe. They got similar hairstyles.
Yeah, well, they're both bald. Yeah.
I am sorry, Bill. I do that about every other time. So half the time Mitch will come in and I'll say, "Oh, look, there's Bill Thomas." No, it's Mitch. Oh crap! And I know the both of them. I know them enough to know the difference. It's just like some days well, most days my mouth talks faster than my brain can think,
Well,
as you well
for a
know.
while there, I got you and Mel kind of uh, turned
Well,
around. I
that
was
happens
calling
to
you
us all the
Mel, and
time. Yeah,
Mel, ah, yep.
yeah. Well, we do two shows together in a 2 day time period. So yeah, we're and like I'm sure people are saying, "Didn't I just see this show?"
Yeah.
And they're going. I said, "No, no, no. You saw Mel's show. Mine's yeah." So and 3X Drones is in here. I meant to say
Yeah, I
hi to
saw
him when he
three
came in
X
too. So
drones, and
yeah,
yeah, so Fly Natural was just here, and yeah, yeah, that's a
did you
ticket.
know this is the first time I've been on this as a guest,
No,
isn't
you
it?
were a guest early in my
Oh,
yep,
okay. Yeah,
yeah.
a long.
I think you were
Wow, that's
number
been.
12 or something like that.
Yeah, I was like in the very first
Yeah,
first season you were doing it.
you
Yeah.
and Mel and I even had
Okay.
Dan on here once.
Mel says the trouble is my mouth. It never stops. It's true. It's true. You know. Uh, well, speaking, and I know you're running short of time, so I'm going to cut this as short as I can. But
Oh,
when Judy and I first got married, I was always telling stories, and stuff. And one of the things I would do is she had trouble going to sleep, and so I couldn't sleep with the TV on at the time. So
right.
she had to have a noise. So what she would do is she'd say, "Tell me a story," and then pretty soon she'd be asleep. Well, then I quit doing that because I got used to the TV at night, so we'll run the TV and just I go to sleep. Well, here a week or two ago, she wanted to see. I can't remember what it was. It was my show. It was a live stream. She wanted to watch it because she was having trouble going to sleep, and she wanted to listen to it. And I can't remember what the show was about. And but it was something she wanted to hear about, and so uh, I was playing it, and sure enough, she dozed off to sleep. And I thought, well, uh, uh, I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and finish watching it. Well, I sit here laid back like this with my iPad like this. Well, if you let go of it, it's going to fall forward. And I woke up when it hit me in the nose. And it's iPad Pro. It's the 12-inch, 12.9 inch. That sucker's heavy. Let me tell you.
I bet.
How bad is it when you put yourself to sleep with your own show? I mean,
Yeah.
that's bad. So I feel for all you people out there that have to watch my show. I'm thinking, God, I put myself to sleep. How boring is
Yeah.
it for the people that have to watch me on a weekly basis? Yeah, exactly.
Hey, what time is it?
I had to
Oh,
tell you that because it
it's
was.
time
It
for
was
Mel
I did,
show.
man. I think
Okay.
came out whap. Yeah. Oh, this has been fun, Art.
Yeah, so everybody's doing videos on the Mavic Mini, and uh, I don't. I think it'd be kind of cool to have one, but only as a backup, just in case my something happened to my Mavic Air. Uh, but
Yeah,
to
yeah.
its it does have a 30-minute battery life. That's pretty darn good, and from what I've been hearing, it's a pretty darn good little drone. I mean, it's not 4K, but you know what?
It's 2.7.
2.7 is still pretty darn good.
I just I was just reading what 3X drones was saying. Yeah, 2.7K is not bad, and I just don't really have the need for another
Yeah.
drone, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
yeah, I, s- I mean, it's a great starter drone for people.
Yeah, it is.
It
Yep.
really is. I
Mm-hmm.
can't see uh, a 13 to 16-year-old kid needing to Skydio. I mean, yeah, they
Yeah.
probably would get better use out of it than some old fart
Skydio
like
or
me.
a
But
Mavic 2.
you're talking 1,000, yeah, or a Mavic 2 Pro, like
Yeah.
uh, but I just can't see a kid that age doing with something like the Skydio because
Mm.
I mean that's $900 base, 999, base, and then you add the other things to make it really work, and you're talking $1,300
Yep.
for what it
Mm-hmm.
does. I think it's worth that, you know, but it's not something. We were talking about. I forgot where I was at, and they were discussing about. Uh, I think it was on Mel's show that last a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about the 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 robot thing. I said, well, who's going to buy their kids that robot for you know,
Yep.
or even buy the Mavic Mini for a kid for $300? I'm thinking, well, I saw a kid that's 15 years old was flying a Phantom or a Mavic 2 Pro.
Right.
So was that 1,500, 1,600 bucks?
Yeah.
Depending on whether they got the Fly More package.
Yeah.
You know, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
they said we don't. They They spend that kind of money on kids now.
Yep.
I wouldn't spend it on my kids that
Yeah,
much,
my
but
folks, they didn't spend that kind of money. I mean, God, I don't even know what the most expensive thing they got me. I probably some toy they got for me, and it probably cost. I mean, even if it cost $5, that was a lot of money back in the '60s. You know?
it was. It was.
Yeah.
I just reading what 3X Drone said. He said he flew the Mavic Mini on the coast of Lake Erie, and it held up great in the big winds. Well, and that's what I was saying earlier in the show is those two drones that were flying above all the people out there at the train.
Right.
Uh, I'm pretty sure one of them was a Mavic Mini, and I was real impressed with how well it did.
Mm.
But on the other hand, as close as I could see it, it really did look toy grade,
Yeah. Hmm.
But it obviously flew better.
Right.
But
Now, you
yeah,
were talking about the robot thing. I have the RoboMaster S1, and earlier today I did another live build and got quite a bit of it done today. So it's coming along
good,
pretty
good.
well. Uh, I'll do another live build tomorrow morning, and who knows, I might be pretty close to having it all finished up tomorrow. So,
Cool,
uh,
cool, excellent.
yeah, I
So, yeah,
got the chassis all put together, and I got all the motor mounts ready to put on. All the sensors are in there. Just gotta. The only part that I have a little bit of problem with is that back sensor because it's spring mounted and there's a cable that goes up and over and it connects to the main board up there. And for some reason it's binding on something and it won't stay closed. So I've got to watch the build video. There's a video on YouTube that I've been watching on how to put this thing together. So when I go to do the build, I go through the instructions. I already know how it's going to go. So I'll have to check that out and see what I'm doing wrong. Maybe there's a way where that cord needs to be snaked through on the plastic before it goes up over
right,
into the
yeah,
main board. So
right,
tomorrow,
right,
hopefully,
yeah.
get the wheels on and then get the top part with the with all the Wi-Fi and the little pew pew shooter that goes on top of that.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
the
yeah.
camera.
That was the only thing. That was the thing that really intrigued me was that gun. I thought, oh man, what you could do with that. In answer to Metro Drones, actually, I'm going to answer two people. No, Metro Drones, I was not with Mel today. The train, Mel's in Fort Smith, and it left Fort Smith and it went down to Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Then it came up through Gore, Oklahoma, which is over by where my cabin's at. And then it stopped over here on the other side of our, just about 15 minutes away to the next little town over called Fort Gibson. And that's where I saw it at. And Mel, bite me. He said I never come visit him.
So
Just
how
I had to
far
get
are
that
you
in there.
from Fort Smith, Arkansas?
Uh, Probably about 35, 40 minutes. I don't know.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
Not
Uh, it's not that far. I just about the only time I go any distance is either out to my cabin or actually my cabin is about halfway between. He could come in from Sallisaw and come right up that way. Uh,
right.
yeah, I would chase the dogs around shooting them with that Mel. We're talking about the gun. I said, yeah. Uh,
Yeah, it shoots those gel pellets that it comes in a kind of a container in there, but you gotta soak them first before you put them in
right, right.
the thing that holds all the pellets and all that. But it'll be fun to chase my sister's cat around with that, and I'll get the
Sounds like a good
video
idea to
from
me.
the robot itself, and then I'll have a GoPro set up, so I'll have like a two camera view. What I think I'll do is I'll set it right next to his food bowl. Then when the cat comes around, I'll I'll turn on the cameras and I'll move the robot and watch that cat just go take off and then turn around and go chase the cat.
Yeah.
And the
Well,
neat thing
I'm
about
obviously a
that
dog
little
person.
robot, it could go sideways too.
I know. I've seen some of that. That's just
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Uh, and uh, that's and as I was going to say, I'm obviously a dog person, so yeah, I would be using it to chase a cat. You know, uh, I'm never have been a cat lover. Plus
Oh,
now I'm allergic to them, so that
yeah.
I can always say, yeah, no, I can't have a cat. I'm allergic. Uh,
Well,
but
I'm kind of an animal person. I like them all, cats, and not so much for birds because you know they take a lot of maintenance. You gotta have
they
patience
do.
with them. You know, you gotta
Yeah, they
clean the
do. Yeah.
cage, and same with aquariums too. I love fish, but it's like, oh, I gotta feed the fish. I gotta make sure the filter's working. Gotta make sure the pH is just right. You know, don't want to
I had a
wake up some morning and go, wow, something stinks, and then you see a bunch of little fishies all
yeah.
floating to the top.
I had a 55-gallon saltwater tank,
Ooh, boy.
and let me tell you, that was when it. We just matter of fact, we just found some pictures of it. We had some beautiful uh, coral and anemones and stuff like that in there, living
Yeah.
coral, and it was really great. But all of a sudden, it just one day it just went south, and I mean it just and we lost everything in like 3 days
Oh,
time. I couldn't do anything. That the algae took over, got algae bloom in it, and just boom, that was it.
yeah.
And uh, but
Yeah,
I
I
apologize,
know I'm
Art. It's just
boring
I
you.
got up way too early. No, it's
Oh,
not you.
yeah,
It's
nine
me.
o'clock. Oh, boy. Woo.
Well, for me, yeah, considering I was awake at 6 o'clock, and I probably was awake at four
Hey, that's
o'clock, and
what
I was
time
probably
I
awake at
woke up. You know, I'm so used to getting up
well,
at 3:30 in the morning
yeah.
that 6 o'clock seems like I'm sleeping in. It's like, oh, I was up till 11. I'm up at 6:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I was in the service, I always tried to work what we call mid shift, which was the evening shift or swing shift, and
Right.
I hated working the midnight shift. That's what we call mids. I The only time I liked it is after my first wife and I got divorced, and then I could
Right.
go out and you know I could sleep in as late as I wanted, but
Right.
when you're working that shift and you got kids, you can't do that.
That's right.
Uh, so it wasn't so bad, but yeah, it was. I've always worked the evening shift or the midnight shift,
Right.
and it's just of course Judy is a night owl, so
Yeah.
uh,
So
and I'm
when
up and down
you
with her a lot too.
you loaded the ordnance, you just loaded the plane. You didn't have to like dial in the nukes or anything on like that.
I was in tactical air command. I did load nukes, yes.
Oh,
We did load some nukes, but only on rare occasion.
yeah.
It didn't happen very often. I probably did a half a dozen nuke loads.
Right.
But yeah, we put the munitions up there. We had to go up and make sure they were ready to go on the cockpit. We had to make sure we loaded the one thing that, and that's probably what caused my EMS. That's what they're thinking is when the A-10 first came out, it had a 30 this GAU 8 cannon.
Yeah, it had a Gatling
Seven
gun.
barrel 30 millimeter.
Yeah.
All right, a big Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Well, when we loaded those, now they do it all in a depot, and it's all put into a big drum, and they bring the drum out and hook it up and all that
Right.
stuff. When we did it two ammo cans at a time. Just uh, and one guy would stand next to each other and went on a conveyor. We'd pull those rounds out of the ammo cans, drop them onto every other one. I'd put one, then skip one, put one, and he'd fill in the spots, and then they'd go up into the gun. They'd
Right.
just travel up and go
Uh-huh.
into the gun, and we ran the hydraulics on the gun, and it just cycled it through. The problem was we were handling those by hand, and if they were live rounds rather than dummy
Yeah.
rounds or practice, not dummy rounds, but practice rounds, if we were doing a hot round, those were all depleted uranium. We
Yep,
handled them
that's
all by
right.
hand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that
Yep.
armor piercing stuff, high incendiary explosives. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
we handled a lot of, less than healthy stuff. Plus,
Mm.
I did a lot of work out in the Area 51. Well,
Right.
all that. I keep telling people those are not aliens landing out there. That's the glow in the dark sand
Yeah. And
from
that's
all
right
that
near the,
radiation from
yeah, the nuclear test site is like right next to
nuclear
it. Yeah.
testing grounds. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
That's
right next to it. Yeah,
Yucca, Frenchman Flats is, I think it's called.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Because we were in, I was at, I was at Nellis Air Force Base, and then I was at Nellis Air Force Base. I traveled all over. I did a lot when we were
Right.
doing the stuff with the A-10. Plus, I was also a secondary as what was called a radio operator, radio operator, maintenance and driver, which meant I was attached as a forward observer to a airborne unit, and we went to places and advised our allies on how best to do stuff and taught and trained.
Right.
And sometimes our advice was not heeded by some people, and they would shoot back at us. But
Yep.
it was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was TDY a lot on those deals.
Okay.
And then when I wasn't doing that, I was back to either working on weapon systems or loading bombs or I did. I mean, you look at how many thousands of rounds have gone through those Gatling guns.
Yeah.
I did the very first 70,000 round inspection of those
Wow.
guns. They at 70,000 rounds they had. It was the
Mm-hmm.
first time they had a jammed gun, and we did the first, and that's when they did the first breakdown, and those things are unbelievable. Of course,
Right.
they have to prop up the back of the aircraft when they take the gun out, because otherwise it'll just flip up on its tail.
Yeah, I bet.
So they have to have because the motors are set high, the gun
Yep.
is set low, and the center of gravity is right where those
Mm-hmm.
wings are at. Well, you take out something that runs almost
I
the
think
full
they're
length of that
called
fuselage.
engines.
Yeah, I'd call them motors. See, I mean, you're right. They are
You're
engines.
starting to
They're
talk
General
like
Electric engines, but
Jeff.
they're engines.
Yeah.
Uh, I know better. That's the
Yeah.
difference. A motor is electric, and the engine is fuel powered. Yeah, you know, and and but those engines were made by General Electric,
Yeah, that's right.
so it makes
Mhm.
you wonder, huh?
Mhm.
Well, you've heard the whine on them. They almost sound. If you've heard an A10 come in, they have a particular whine to them. They sort of sound like uh,
Stuka?
an electric motor.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
okay.
they sound like an electric motor coming in, but they've got a high pitched whine.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're working out on a runway like that, you actually get to where you can recognize your aircraft. You know which ones you were working on, and you can
Oh, yeah.
recognize them when they come in just by the pitch of their engine. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But
Interesting.
anyways, yeah,
All right.
old war stories.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, Lloyd, I just want to thank you for filling in at the last minute. Sometimes that happens, and
Yep.
you're a real trooper for filling in for me. You have a great evening, and we gotta get together, and you can help me out with OBS and kind of. I need to tweak some of the backgrounds and some opening credits and
right.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, thank you very much, and you have a great evening. And all of you folks, thanks for coming to the show. Mel, you're going to enjoy these. Those will get out to you
Absolutely.
very
Yeah.
quickly. So, everyone, have a great evening. And those of you on the other side of the world, good morning or uh, whatever. So, take care, and we will see you next week. Same time, same channel. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.